Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I showed you, and I've given you time to make your sponge culture, and I showed you how to do it, and you feed it every day 2 tablespoons of bread flour, not just regular flour, it's got to be bread flour, and 1 tablespoon of cold water, and you beat it and you put it back in the refrigerator. I use quart jars, okay? I'll show you my jars. This is my liquid and this is my sponge. I'll show you the difference of them. Now, you've been making your sponge culture and you've been feeding it, all right? And I told you how to feed it. Now you say, I want to make a liquid culture, because a lot of the recipes I give you, it's either a liquid culture or a sponge culture, and if you have one, you can't make the other. So what you do is you take your sponge culture, take some of it and put it in another jar. Now you're going to need a scale for this, because you use measurements for the sponge, but for the liquid you're going to have to use weights. All right, now once you put some sponge culture into another jar and mark it, you better mark it, because if you don't you're going to get confused. I have mine written up so to make sure that I don't get it messed up. So you take some of your sponge culture and you put it into this clean jar. Bet you go to the apartment building. Okay, and then what you do is you get a scale and you measure 1.5 ounces of flour, bread flour. Okay, it's bread flour. And then you add that to your the new jar that you put a little bit of sponge culture in, and you add 2 ounces of cold water, and you beat it. And you'll notice the texture. You'll notice in about 3 days the texture will be different. I'll show you the different textures so you can see. And you feed it that every day. Give it about 3 or 4 days and you'll end up with your liquid culture and you'll have your sponge culture. Now if your jars get full and you don't, you're not going to bake, and you said I got to feed it, where am I going to do with it? Well, you could either put it in the garden, or you could get another jar and mark discard on it. That one you don't have to worry about. That's the one I use to cook with, unless I'm making breads and I need my culture. And I'm going to show you the difference of the liquid and the sponge. Now just look at how this liquid is. You see how it just runs? This is very, very thin, and it just runs like this. Now this is a liquid culture. It takes about 3 to 4 days after you get your sponge culture and you separate your jars and all. So remember, the liquid culture will always take 1.5 ounces of flour, 2 ounces of cold water. Now this is my sponge culture. Look how thick that thing is. It's really tacky. That's how you can tell the difference on them. And this one takes 2 tablespoons of flour, bread flour, and 1 tablespoon of water. So you can see that the water is different, but the ratio is minimal. But if you break this ratio, or you add too much water to your liquid, you end up killing it. So this is why it's very important you have a scale that you weigh this out. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, now there's one more culture I want to get. I keep on telling you, but I haven't have the money for it, which I apologize for, but I'm tight like the rest of you, so don't think that I've got a ton of money. The only thing I see behind me are bills, okay, and they follow me wherever I go. And that's the incorn. That's an ancient grain, and we're going to treat that a lot different, and you're going to be surprised how that one comes out. But that's how you convert your sponge culture into a liquid. Now if you run out of your sponge culture, go to your liquid, take some of your liquid, put it into the sponge jar, add the water, 2 tablespoons of bread flour and a tablespoon of water. In 3 or 4 days you'll have your sponge culture back. So when I run out of one, I just balance going back and forth like that with them, so I never run out. Okay? So listen, you take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.